Hey there, this is the basics of HTML. The next video will be the basics of CSS. All of this is available on your class website also. So, the first part of making an HTML or CSS document is different if you're on a Windows or Mac device. You either firstly make sure that you can view the file name extensions and create a new text document calling it index.html. Yes, we do want to make it. Or if you open up VS Code, we can simply go File, New Text File, and this is how we would do it if you are using a Mac file. Then we're going to go Save As, navigate to where we want to save it, which for me will be here, and give it a name, making sure to call it index.html. Save as type, well, that's going to be an HTML for us, and we can hit save. This is now, all these orangey bits have shown up. This is now an HTML document. To open up our HTML document in your File Explorer, just click on index.html and we'll see it open up. At the moment, it's got its name up in the tab and it's a blank page. Not very exciting. Let's do some coding. The very first line of almost every HTML document is going to be this one here. An opening tag, so an opening spike, doctype. Doctype HTML. This is just telling the browser that this is an HTML document. But they're going to have HTML as our major sandwich. Now, websites use what I like to call sandwich logic. For 99% of the tags you'll be using, these things here are tags. Every time there's an opening tag or an opening slice of bread, you're going to fill it with all the good stuff, and then there has to be a closing tag. So this is going to be our big sandwich. Some people like to call them containers, but I prefer sandwiches. I'll zoom in a little bit. So every single thing that is our website, is our HTML website, has to go within these two slices. And those first things are, I'll just tab over, the head. And after the head, there is the body. This here, at the bare minimum, is the basic layout of every website. It is a big sandwich, a big HTML document with a head section. The head section is going to be primarily information about the page, linking to things like the CSS document, telling it the title, metadata, and then the body is going to be things that you see on the page, things like the navigation bar, pictures, paragraphs of text, things like that. Just so we don't forget or write a comment. And this is how you write a comment in HTML. Opening tag, opening spike, exclamation point, dash dash. You can then write your comments, and then to close it, VS Code auto does it, but dash dash, closing spike. So we'll just say what the head and body are for. This is for information about the page. And this is for what you will see on the page. Alright, for an example, we'll put a title in the head section. Remember, opening slice, closing slice, so the actual title itself goes between these two. That's the good stuff. Our title is going to be just home page for now. And on the actual page itself, we're going to put a H1, which stands for heading 1. And this is going to just say, oh, hello world. Save that, Control S. Back in our browser, we can just refresh it. We'll notice those two things have changed. The title now says homepage, and it has a heading title that says hello world. So we're going to go over all the major tags in this video. You can find most of these on a linked website in the description. It's also on your class website as well. It's called W3 Schools HTML tags. So, firstly, there are a series of titles. H1 is just one of them. Based on the amount of copies that I made, I'm sure you can guess that I've actually gone one too many. There are 6 H tags, H1 through 6. So what this looks like is they start to decrease in size as they go down, as they go up in number. So H1 is the biggest title, and H6 is the smallest. That's how your web page should be laid out as well. A website will assume that an H1 tag is the page title, or the big text at the top of your page. H2 tags are generally section titles, and then they progressively go down in H, or up, I guess, in H value as they get more and more into the document. So there we have H1 through 6. Let's have a look at something else. So after this, I'll go down a couple. I'll just label this section the headings. We're going to have a look at what 90% of your text on the page is going to be. And these are paragraphs. A paragraph uses a P tag. You can then write a paragraph of text and that will show up as a standardized, you'll notice the font, a standardized text. So 90% of your text on your page is going to be this. A cool thing that you can do with paragraphs is you can add things like pushing enter here is not going to make any visual change here. Those dots are still on the same line. But we can add things that are called line breaks. And that's BR for break. This is effectively pushing enter in your text. So when I refresh the page, I now see that that text has gone down. If I want a line gap in here, I would simply add another break. So I'll just add another break. And watching these dots here, I'll refresh the page, they've gone down some. Effectively enter's been pressed twice. So I'll just head back and I'll make a little comment in here as well that these are line breaks. Okay, notice that this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag, and these breaks happen in the middle of it. These are some of the rare tags that actually don't need to close themselves, they just sort of happen. And there will be maybe 2 of those that we'll talk about today. 3 if you include this one, but most tags will need an opening slice and a closing slice. So one thing that you might want to do on your website is lists. There are 2 types of lists. There are ordered lists, which are defined by this name, OL. There's an open to our list and a close to our list. A list consists of list items, which is LI. So if we mention 5 animals, right, snake, a lizard, a bird, a fish, and a cat. There's 5 animals. Back over here, you'll notice that they come out with numbered bullets, 1 through 5. So this is an ordered list. Very similarly, and I'm in fact going to copy this and paste it straight after. The opposite of an ordered list is a unordered list. So I'll just change those O's to U's and make some comments so that I know exactly what these are. Ordered list. Unordered list. An unordered list just has standard points. The main difference between these: an ordered list denotes importance to the things higher in the list. Top 5 ways to make money fast. You'd expect number 1 to be the best way. An unordered list, the order as it sounds doesn't matter. These are just 5 animals, where these seem more like 5 animals ranked in a certain way. Alright. Whoops. A few more tags. We'll have a look at some of the more important ones now. One of the most important tags is actually just this one, A. This is a hyperlink. A hyperlink, unlike most tags, while it can have some good stuff in it, doesn't actually do anything. There it is, it just looks like normal text until it gets some information. We actually put that information inside the opening tag. So, spike A, space, a hyperlink needs one thing. It needs a hyperlink reference, href. And that needs to equal wherever the hyperlink is going to go. So if I just grab a youtube.com link, you need the entire link, including the security protocol. And refresh, save that, back over here. My hyperlink is now purple. It would be blue, but I've actually been to YouTube before. So I'll click on that hyperlink, and it'll start to load me into youtube.com. Hyperlinks can also be used to navigate your own website, and we're going to look at doing that when we move on to the CSS video, which will be the next one. So I'll quickly go ahead and write a comment. Alright, so the next thing we're going to have a look at doing is adding an image. So I'll write the comment for that already. And I'm going to need to find an image. I want this image to go in here. The same folder that my index.html is in. But if I think about it, I'm going to actually have quite a few images on my website. So I in fact want to put it in a folder in this folder. So I'm going to create a new folder for all of my images. I'm going to put that image in there. So let's go ahead and find a picture. Jellyfish look quite cool, so I'll look that up. Some jellyfish images. Anytime you're grabbing images, you should always go to Tools, Usage Rights, Creative Commons license to make sure that it's available for reuse. And we'll grab this cool looking one here. So I'm just going to save image as. Now, I should know where I'm saving it, if I still have the URL. Nope, I copied that URL. Not saving it to YouTube. I'm just going to quickly steal that path and paste it in there. I'm going to put it in this images folder. I'm going to call it fish. We need to know 3 things about this image. Firstly, where is it saved? In my images folder. Secondly, what's it called? Jellyfish. And thirdly, what's its file name extension? In this case it's a JPEG, so .jpg. So let's go ahead and save that. So the code for this is just img for image. Couple cool things about the image tag. Firstly, like the BR tags, it doesn't actually need a closing image tag. Secondly, like the hyperlink tags, it needs some information for anything to actually happen. It needs two things. It needs a source, src for source, and it also needs some alternative text to show up if your image cannot be displayed for whatever reason. So my alternative text is going to be jellyfish, because it's a picture of a jellyfish, and my source is actually going to be inside the images folder. You'll find image.jpg, or sorry, jellyfish.jpg. So let's save that. There we go. So right next to my hyperlink, I have my image of the jellyfish. I'm in fact going to very quickly chuck a line break in there. So now when I refresh, it goes down a line. If for whatever reason it couldn't find this, like I forgot to tell it to look in the images folder, it instead says, oh, broken image link, this thing's a jellyfish. But I know it's not just in the same folder as the HTML, it's in fact in the images folder, and then you can find this jellyfish. Alright, so there are two more things that we'll look at in terms of tags, and then we're going to start looking at CSS in the next video. The next one is going to be a, comment first, a table. The tag for a table is table. Pretty easy one to do. A table is made up of a series of rows, and in each row there's a little piece of data. So a table row is tr. So this is one going all the way across, and then we're going to put another tr, or table row, just after it. So that's going all the way across just after it. Alright, so we're going to have three things in our table. We're going to have a table header. So this is a bold piece of text basically within our table row. Our entire top row is going to be headers, and our entire bottom row is going to be data. Our table header is going to say name, table header, age, table header, job. And then we can have a piece of table data, Mr. Spence, table data, 26, table data. Oh, that's a B, not a D. Table data. Digital technology. We'll just write head of, digital technology. If we wanted another row, in fact, let's have a look at this first. So we now have name, Mr. Spence, age 26, job, head of digital technology. If we wanted another underneath this, we'll make a fictional person up, another row. We'll add some more table data, so it's not headers, it's just some information in there. And we're gonna have three of these because of our three criterion. We'll call this person Molly. They can be 32 and they can be an accountant. Oops. Refresh the page. Now see Molly in line with this names box. Age is all in line. Job is this big box here. It's quite hard to see without the lines, but we'll be able to add those in the CSS, which is the next part. So the last thing we will do in terms of tags is one that we won't actually see, but probably the most important tag. and it's this one, div. What a div is, it's a division of the page. When we get into it, especially in the CSS that we're going to do next, a div is going to be the most important thing. You can think of divs as building blocks. They contain a little bit of information, maybe a picture, maybe some text and pictures. And we put them together like they're blocks to make up what the website looks like.